All right, so I'm about to head out to Seminole Harley-Davidson to get the bike tuned. I'm actually in a rush because it is going to thunderstorm today. I'm hoping that I don't get hit with any patches of rain, but yeah, so I'm in a real hurry because I don't want to get rained on. I don't want the bike to get rained on. I don't want to get soaked. Now, if you're new to my channel, make sure to click that subscribe button right now. This way you can stay up to date with all of my new content and get in on my weekly cash giveaways. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on the bike and get over to Seminole Harley-Davidson. All right, so I made it all the way over here to Seminole Harley-Davidson without a drop of rain touching me, so very fortunate. It was clear skies all the way here, which is pretty surprising. All the weather reports show like 83%, 89%, I think, of rain. And so the fact that I made it out here without a drop of water on me goes to show you that the universe is in my favor today. So I'm really happy about that. Anyways, Seminole has not yet opened up. They're a few minutes away from opening up, but we'll go ahead and get my bike back there with Chris, get it on the dyno, get it tuned, and then get you guys some numbers, so stay tuned in. So I was getting an oil leak at the bottom by the tappet covers. Let me show you guys right here. I guess when we were putting down the cover on the tappet cover, it didn't work, so Chris is fixing my fuck up. Yeah, I think he's fixed it already. We'll see. All right, so final numbers, we're at 137 horsepower and 150 foot-pounds of torque. It could still gain more. Chris was explaining to me a little bit about it. But unfortunately, given the limitations of the dyno jet right now, we're not going to be able to hit what its full potential is going to be, but we could always revisit it at a later date. Okay, so one more thing Chris was explaining to me. So this is actually my old one. So if you want to see like the biggest difference of what this cam did is right here. So if you see on the old one, you have this dip, right? But right up here on the new one, it's much more power earlier on. So that's the biggest change.
This little subtle dip is not always there. See that on that pull, it wasn't. Like, these are your last three. This is the average of those three. This one, of course, had a little higher peak, so we're going to show that.
Yeah, of course.
But your ultimate, the thing you're looking at is this. This is what has changed here.
Yeah. No, that looks really good.
You gained, what did we gain? 5? And your horsepower, see, actually it looks like it went down. It's pretty much it didn't really change.
Yeah.
One of the pulls had 138 on the horsepower side too, so that's just the variance on that particular pull. But the back half is pretty much unchanged.
Yeah,
it's all this front half.
But for me, that's exactly where I wanted the power at anyway, so that works out perfect.
That way you can shake and get.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris just took the bike out for a test ride. It came out insane. I mean, the bike sounds so much nicer now. I'll let you guys hear it, and you'll hear him when he pulls back in here from the test ride. He's ripping it right now. But he was explaining to me, he thinks that he could have got another 5 to 7 horsepower out of this cam, or sorry, 5 to 7 torque out of this cam, another 5 horsepower out of this cam. So yeah, 5 to 7 horsepower, no, 5 to 7 torque, and then 5 horsepower out of this cam. But unfortunately, because of a dyno jet firmware upgrade, or update, I should say, it put limit to a certain amount of things. And so unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to squeeze that performance out of it right now. But he will be in the future. We're gonna retune the bike. At least for now, I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it the way that it is now. We did build a lot more torque from this cam, and we built it, as you've seen, at a sooner place in the RPM range, which is a much more usable band for me. And then I am planning on putting on a different throttle body from HPI to get more performance out of it. That's probably gonna come in a little bit here. So you guys are obviously gonna have to stay tuned in to see what kind of numbers I make post installing the HPI throttle body. Okay, so I just got back from Seminole Harley-Davidson. This bike rips. There's no way to put it into words how quickly this bike moves now. Obviously, Chris, you did a phenomenal job. Like I said, for those of you guys who have not watched my previous videos, Chris is my tuner. You guys can check him out on Instagram. His handle is @SickWideGlide, @SickWideGlide. And it's the @ symbol. I don't mean AT, Sick Wide Glide. It's just the @ symbol, Sick Wide Glide. So check him out on Instagram. He did a killer job with this. The bike feels like a freaking drag bike. It pulls so quick and so hard. The power is coming on at like 1900 RPMs. For those of you guys who are interested and are on the fence like I was between the 540C cam and the 550 cam, if you are on a bagger, I would highly recommend that you go with the 540C cam from S&S. It's undescribable. It's like it turns your bagger into like a lightweight Sportster. It is just crazy how powerful, like the power to weight ratio now just feels so different. The bike doesn't even feel heavy anymore. When you push on the throttle, it's like pulling you like as if you have a race motor in it. It's crazy. So if you guys are on the fence like I was between the S&S 550 and the S&S 540, if you are looking for that like really fun pulling power, I'd highly recommend going with the S&S 550 cam. Now, let me just quickly show you here on the screen. The power that it made was 137 horsepower and a whopping massive 150 foot-pounds of torque. But as you can see here on the graph, the power cuts on so early on. So if you were to compare this, the numbers that you guys are looking at right now, in comparison to the 550C cam from S&S, that power turns on later. So what makes this cam such a beast is that you're getting all this torque early on in the RPM range, as you guys can see. So I'm sure it's needless to say, I'm ecstatic that I put this cam in the bike. It was 100% worth the upgrade. The time, the money, everything was 100% worth it. I'm really happy about this cam. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have thoroughly enjoyed this video. Don't forget, make sure you guys are putting good energy out there into the world. If you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure to click that subscribe button now. This way you can get in on all of my new content and my weekly cash giveaways. I'll check you guys out later. Make sure you guys are paying it forward. Bye now.